Hello, this is Paul Nelson with Western Sport Floors, Wyoming Wood Floors, coming to you today from Clinton, Montana. I'm here with Mr. Colton Crollo. Colton, how are you?
Not too bad.
We're going to talk about T-bars and applicators today. Why don't you lift that thing up? So this is a Duratool T-bar applicator. Duratool calls this thing the Bigfoot. It's got a big old steel pipe on it, and this is a solid piece of metal on the bottom, and it's got a little pivot here in the center. Why don't you talk about T-barring on finish, Colton, and kind of your experiences with it?
Yeah, so I've only ever really used the T-bar for applying finish, and honestly, after watching other ways, I don't know if I want to change. It's so easy. We're not controlling the flow of the finish from it. We're just pulling the finish across the floor. We can turn around on our ends and do whatever feathering we want almost seamlessly, and it makes the closeout super easy.
So we'll recognize there's other methods of doing it. There's a apparatus called the Easy Way, which basically has a tank on the handle, and some guys really like those things. To us, the drawback is that you only hold 2 or 3 gallons in that, so you always got to stop and fill the thing up and try not to spill on the floor. And
yeah,
we like this method better. There's also a method with a little cart thing that holds
multi-flow.
The multi-flow. You had an experience this summer. Could you share the story?
Yeah, so we were working on the gym floor, and the custodians were doing a wooden upper mezzanine running track area. And we decided to go in a little early and watch them pull finish. And it took them about 3 hours to pull 2,500 square feet. And the next day when they watched us pull their 9,000 square foot gym floor in 30 minutes, they were blown away.
And admittedly, part of that could be training too.
Absolutely.
Custodians do it a couple days a year. We do it almost every day of the year.
Yep.
So admittedly, that could be it. And some people really like those multi-flows, and if it works good for you, fantastic. We just thought we'd introduce the T-bar. The one, from a management standpoint, we can bring in a new guy that maybe has never pulled finish, but has some experience in construction and working with his hands and tools. And he can be competent, depending on the person, after a couple of gyms, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to learn. There's some technical things that eventually you'll figure out, but as far as getting the job done and being able to pull finish, it's pretty simple.
It's pretty easy to learn. This particular T-bar that I'm demonstrating, like I said, is a Duratool. There's probably other people that make them, but that's one place. We also really like these Duratool applicators, right?
Yeah.
You just want to show here on camera, this thing is cut at a 45-degree angle. Allows you to get into corners and crevices, and it's very seldom we ever grab some kind of an edger device, right?
Right. I mean, it can slip this little end just underneath the foot of the bleachers. So you can get under that wheel guard. You're right up against the base cove, threshold, whatever.
Yeah, these things work really well. So, but it's like anything else, these things come with a price tag. I'm quoting something on video, and somebody will always correct me, but I think they're 10, 11 bucks a piece. Does that, yeah, there's some cost to them, okay? So what we've devised is our little tubes, little PVC tube. And Colton's got this one marked, and this is oil. So we're doing oil-based finish, and we're putting gloves on. He's taking this thing out. It's floating in paint thinner. Put this on, go pull your poly sealer or finish. When you're done, tube goes right back in there. They don't last forever. What's your experience? How long do they last?
I usually try to change them every 3-4 jobs. Again, I didn't use any oil last year at all, so those are who knows how old, and they need to be thrown away.
Yeah, those clearly need to be thrown away. They've been pulled for a while. And so we'll have the exact same tube. Colton's got it listed as water. And so you're saying every 3-4 jobs?
Yep. And the really important thing is you may be changing it more often, you may be leaving it longer. It's just when you're rinsing it out and cleaning it, you gotta feel it. If it's starting to get crusty, if you're starting to see debris on it, it's time to toss it.
Toss it.
Yeah.
But even getting 3 or 4 jobs versus throwing them away every job really saves
Absolutely.
By the end of the year, that's hundreds of applicators that you haven't thrown away.
Yep. Yeah, and they're easy to store. They're protected. Pick everything up you need from Home Depot, and that's that.
Yeah, this is not rocket science. I'll show it once more. I mean, you're talking a 2-foot piece of PVC, one cap and one cover.
Yep.
Pretty straightforward stuff. So one of the things I wanted to chat about with respect to the T-bars and that system is a system. And we have a system. Colton at this point is managing most of our paint, all of our paint, and you're also managing most of the recoats for the company. And so what we're doing, we've tried to systematize what we're doing, and everybody in every crew really is doing things the same. It's the same procedure, right?
Yeah, that way if we have something come up, I can talk to whoever was the crew lead on that job and say, hey, did you do this? Then did you do this? Then did you do this? And if they skipped a step, well, we know where the issue probably came from.
We at least have a lead.
Yeah, yeah, somewhere to start.
But just to have a system, and I never try and give the opinion that ours is the only system, right? Our system is constantly evolving, constantly. But once we've evolved it, then we try and do things the same all the way across our different crews.
Yep.
And sometimes somebody calls me or Colton up and says, I think this is a better way to do it. And Colton will take a look at it, and then guess what? We can change the manual and put that change out across the crews. So the T-bars have helped us to systemize our application of finish.
Yep.
There's two other things that I want to talk about next. Okay, so what we have here is what we've always called the Zender finish barrel. But in all fairness, that's only because I learned about the finish barrel from a guy by the name of Rob Zender. But I just did an interview with a gentleman by the name of Jason now with Majestic Floors, and he claims he was using it 5 years before I was. Very possible. I learned about it from somebody else. And there's a gentleman in Oklahoma named Mr. Paul Hildebrand. And he claims he'd been using the Zender finish barrel for a long time. So who knows where it came from. This is not rocket science. Down at the bottom here is a valve. The only thing you can't buy at Home Depot is this little fitting on the bottom. It's called a bulkhead fitting. It's got gaskets on both sides. It comes from the boat industry. It's made to go through and seal on both sides. We put a little elbow in so that we can lift that up at the corners so the thing don't sit and drip. And open the valve and close the valve. Why don't you talk a little bit about your experience, Colton, using the Zender finish barrel, which is what I'm going to continue to call it.
Yeah, that's what we all call it.
Yeah.
So, no, it's great. One, you're not pouring all of your finish out on the floor from the bucket. You know, that is not fun. I mean, you're bent over, the buckets, you know, are fairly heavy in that position. The other really nice thing is you can put all of the finish that you need for the pull into this barrel, and it is all 100% homogenized. So it's all even. As long as you're stirring it throughout, I know that the first line that I run at the beginning of the pull is going to be the same line that I have when I run my final before the closeout.
And if anybody's wondering what this old nasty paint, that's a stir stick.
Yeah, that's our stir
We
stick.
have dedicated stir sticks, and we're making sure to stir this concoction up thoroughly.
Yep.
One other thing that I want to talk about that I think is fair or relevant, and that is it's going to depend on what kind of finish you have. Pay attention to manufacturer's recommendation. This is a bucket of Street Shoe NXT. It's basic coatings, 2-component finish. But on this bucket, on the directions, it says adding water. You can add up to 12 ounces of potable water per gallon of finish. Adding water will increase the flow and level time, particularly helpful on a job site where higher temperatures or lower humidity. So let's talk about that a little bit, Colton.
Yeah, so same thing. I mean, these Street Shoe buckets come pretty much full. The only space they really leave is for the hardener and any of the little bit of water you add to that bottle. Since we have this barrel, this can hold about 5 pails of finish and still have a little bit of wiggle room, meaning you can mix in, as you know, whatever the manufacturer recommends for water per gallon, and it's all together. It's all homogenized.
Completely homogenized. I think we should put a disclaimer on this. We work in the Rocky Mountain West, basically high desert. It's hot and dry and cold and dry, and we fight the same problem summer or winter. Summertime, when it's hot outside, even if they have air conditioning, The air conditioning is further lowering the relative humidity in the facility.
Absolutely.
Wintertime, it's cold and dry outside, and the heating is further lowering the relative humidity.
Yep.
So we have a lot of challenges. If we don't add just a little bit of water to these finishes, you go down and back and it's sticky and it's not going to lay right, and you're going to see applicator marks. We don't add water to try and stretch the finish or not give the customer the correct mill layer.
Right.
You add water because the manufacturer, at least in this case, recognizes that the water increases your open time and the ability of that finish to properly flow out and really look the way it's supposed to look.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we've never heard feedback saying the finish wasn't as shiny, it wasn't as sticky, or this and that. It's just, we just don't have the callbacks.
No, if we do have feedback, it is because of an applicator mark.
Yeah, because it's streaky or whatever else.
And a lot of times that has to do with the finish drying too fast on us.
Absolutely.
But we wouldn't be able to add the recommended amount of water without an apparatus like the finish barrel, where you can put in the catalyst and a little bit of water and homogenize the whole business.
Yeah, and it's just that extra sense of security that I can confidently say that the finish was completely the same during the whole pull. You can stir the buckets as much as you want, but can you confidently say that each bucket you pour out is going to be the same?
Probably not.
No.
But when it's all homogenized, good or bad, it's at least all the same.
Yeah, exactly.
We have had really good luck with this system. We wanted to share it. It's not to say that there aren't other systems that might work fine, but it's been a system that we've been able to repeat across different crews with new employees or even old employees that might have done something differently. This system works and it's repeatable. You have thoughts on that?
And it's very easy to adapt.
Yes.
Yep.
Thought we would share the Zender finish barrel, the Bigfoot T-bar, and the Duratool applicators. Those things have been working really well for us. For Western Sport Floors and Wyoming Wood Floors, coming to you from Clinton, Montana, this is Paul Nelson. You make it a great day.